Hey, welcome back to Visions Now Supper Club. All views expressed for their educational and journalistic purposes, they're not the views of the management, advertisers, nor staff of 92.1 FM. However, Visions does desire to bring a quality entertainment program which intellectually stimulates and culturally fulfills our community's needs to develop leadership and inform decision-making for our collective future. Welcome to the village, often imitated, but never duplicated. I'm Dr. Jaylene Hood, your host and executive producer. Welcome.
Made the man and woman to be together in unity. And so it is impossible for us as Black women to attend church and say that we love and worship God when we disrespect our own man, who is in the image of God, because God is a man. And our men may be the closest representative of that kind of masculinity of God that we ever meet. We should stop using our children to punish our men. We should stop disrespecting our men in front of our children. Sometimes we talk badly about them. It makes the child get a different idea about the father just because of our personal relationship. And that we should start trying to be a little bit more patient, tolerant, and courteous. And those are some attributes that we have kind of gotten away from because we are on this speed thing of trying to make a living. I'm not saying that he's right, but if we become better women, he's got to become a better man. God made the man and woman to be together in unity. And so it is impossible for us as Black women to attend church and say that we love and worship God when we disrespect our own man, who is in the image of God, because God is a man. And our men may be the closest representative of that kind of masculinity of God that we ever meet. We should stop using our children to punish our men. We should stop disrespecting our men in front of our children. Sometimes we talk badly about them. It makes the child get a different idea about the father just because of our personal relationship. And that we should start trying to be a little bit more patient, tolerant, and courteous. And those are some attributes that we have kind of gotten away from because we are on this speed thing of trying to make a living. I'm not saying that he's right, but if we become better women, he's got to become a better man. God.
Yeah. Okay. Most religions, it's an order to things: God over man, man over woman, woman over children. Do you believe in that order or no?
No, it's a partnership. I don't feel like men above women. I feel like that's...
So you think men and women are equal?
Yes.
Who do you think is better at leading in general, men or women?
Men, because they can take the emotion out of it.
Okay. So now who do you think is better at leading in general, a mother or her children?
A mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think is better at leading in general, God or a man?
God.
Okay, so you just explained the order right there. God over man because God is better at leading men.
Mm-hmm.
Man over woman because man is better at leading women. And women over children because women is better at leading children. You just proved my point right there.
Okay. Okay.
Gotcha, bitch.
Good evening, everybody. This is Julian, neighborhood citizen. I want to welcome everybody this evening. I hope everybody's having a good week, good day. And without further ado, I want to introduce the neighborhood mystic, my personal guru, Dr. Hud. How you doing this evening, Dr. Hud?
Good to you, brother. I'd like to say assalamu alaikum. I'd like to say hotep, namaste, praise the Lord. What's up, y'all? You know, and all those kind of good things. I'd like to welcome everybody to being with us. And if any of the brothers listening from downtown, and the brothers listening from Chautauqua Road, listening from Forest Road, listening from South Side, East Side, of course, my old stomping ground, the Dub, Midtown, that kind of thing, and North Side, East Highland. I got roots up there in East Highland too. So just saying that everybody welcome. And of course, hotline number 706-324-1420. And we're just getting very excited about what's coming up Saturday. We're going to kick off our Black Heritage Tour during February, where we're going throughout the community. And we're doing what the politicians should have been doing all along. That is, we're going directly to the people. It's time that we start reeling back what is going on with our children. We're losing them. We're losing them, but they're being kicked out, dropped out of school. We're losing them because they are killing each other on the streets. We're losing them because they are being identified through the school-to-prison pipeline. Because if you don't know that if a black child, in particular boys, can't read by the 3rd grade, then they are being basically money been set aside for a prison cell for them. And also, if the child is in middle school, boys in the middle school, and they are truant and not going to school, basically saying that they are pretty much becoming a dropout, then they are also being built a prison cell for them as well. So we're going to have to take responsibility for what is going on with our children. We're going to take responsibility for that. And that's what these town halls are about. We scream and holler about a lot of things, but I want to say that this is an opportunity for anyone who loves children, and particularly anyone who loves their boys, because they are the public enemy number one in particular. In every category of health, boys remain the most at risk, whether it's suicide, homicide, whether it's murder, if it's health, mental health, you name it. All of those things, and that's because we have really done a disservice to our boys, and then they grew up to be males, adult males, and basically never make it into to manhood because their mentality has been cut off. Because unfortunately, mothers today, some mothers are doing a good job. But there are many other mothers who are overwhelmed. They don't know what to do. They well-meaning. But then there's some other mothers who don't give a doggone, and they just have their children out here doing all kind of crazy things. And you don't give a doggone if your child get in trouble at school and you get mad at the teachers. Someone told me one time that they had called the parent and told the parent that their middle school son was getting in trouble and he had to be suspended. And the mother said, "That's your job. Don't call me no more on my job. Tell me about what he's doing. You're supposed to handle that." Can you believe that? But that's the kind of mentality. So that is not a mother. That's what you call a incubator mom. That's not a mother, but that's an incubator mom. We got sperm donor dads and we got incubator moms. And so we just want to let you know there's some bummy dads, there's some bummy moms. And as a result of that, we end up with bummy, misled, misguided children. So the time is that we're time to wake up now. The fathers want to be involved with the children's lives, but mama don't want. They're going to talk to the children against the dad. Okay? Listen, you should have more self-respect. If you have laid down with a male and had a child, even if y'all don't get along anymore, you should be decent enough to go stand by your decision and allow him, if he wants to be in the life of the children, to be in the life of the children. I just don't understand that. But again, these are some of the issues, but we want to let you know that we want to find out what are the solutions that you believe would work, or you wish that you had. What kind of resources do you wish you had 5, 10 years ago before your child got murdered, or before your child went to the youth detention center, or before your child went to prison? Tell me, what do you think you could have helped you become a better parent for your child? And this is what the new era of Columbus is all about. It's a call to action. And we hope that you will join us at Revelation Baptist Church on R.C. Allen Drive off of Steam Mill Road this Saturday from 12 until 2. Come out, voice your appeal, voice yourself. Listen, we don't know if this is the only time in history you're going to have the chance to do this, because Columbus it has become almost normal. And it should not be normal for our children to be destroying themselves. And parents don't want to do anything about it. Parents want to go and tell the police, what you going to do? District attorney, mayor, what you going to do? That's not a parent. A parent is saying, mayor, district attorney, city council, give us our tax dollars. We know what to do to save our children. So we just letting you know the time has come that this is a citizen uprising. Okay? But it's not an uprising if you're not there. So come on out 12 o'clock, high noon. Meet us at Revelation Baptist Church this Saturday from 12 to 2. And we want to hear everything you have to say. Whatever complaint you have, what's going on with recreation? Why are our young boys targeted? Excuse me. What else do you need? Do you need their fathers involved? We got you. Do you need the fathers? Do you need to legitimate your children? We got you. Mom and dad, do you have a poor co-parenting relationship? We got you. Another thing is that if you have a child in a youth detention center, you know someone, tell them to give us a call at 706-221-4830 if you have a child in the youth detention center. Because we're going to work with you to save your child so that child don't have to go back anymore. If you have a child on probation for anything, give us a call. We have a citywide mentoring network that we want to get involved with you and your child to help you. Now listen, at the end of the day, if you don't want no help, then don't be asking nobody for no, what you call these things, a GoFundMe to bury your child. Don't be asking nobody for no GoFundMe to pay for the bond or to get them out of prison. Listen, we're saying to you, we're here and we're garnering males and men to step up and be available to your child, to your son. Okay? And those of you who are single mothers or you are grandparents trying to raise these boys in particular, we're going to start with the boys first because, that's the way God did it. He brought the male in, then he brought the female in. So we're going to deal. The male is the one that's causing the most havoc right now in our community. So we're going to deal with that. So that's where we are, and we want to know, who is the problem? Where is the problem lie? Does it lie with the city? Does it lie with the lack of the faith-based community? Does it lie with the schools? Does it lie with the fact that we don't have any recreation programs for our young people? Does it lie in the fact that they don't have any jobs in the way to learn how to develop a work ethic and to be responsible? What is it that you think you need for your children? Stop playing. We go down to the Civic Center, Trade Center, to the concert. We packed in there. Now, pack in Revelations this Saturday from 12 to 2 for your child. We go down to the Trade Center. People electric sliding everywhere, dressed up. Let's see you pack up Revelations on Saturday from 12 to 2 to save the children. And if you don't do it, don't blame the children. The children is a mirror of the adults. They're a mirror of the adults. So the children, we have failed the children. The children has not failed us. So By the way, you want to call in and be and have some words about any subject? Well, give us a call at 706-324-1420. 706-324-1420. Give us a call. We're going to take a little responsible break here for some commercials, and we're going to come back with more visions. And don't forget, either you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution. And if you're a true mother and father, if you're a true man and woman, then you want to be a part of the solution. But if you're just an adult male sperm donor, or you're just an adult female incubator mom, then we understand. You don't get it. You are the problem. Vision now, the Summer Club. 92.1, smooth R&B.
Pre-owned vehicle can be fun. The entire process can even be completed online. Hi friends, this is Mark Foster, the General Manager at Auto Gallery Chevy GMC in LaGrange, and I'm inviting you to come shop with us. Come experience what car buying should be. Come see the huge discounts, low interest rates, and great people. It's our goal to make sure you enjoy your shopping experience, and we look forward to doing business with you. That's Auto Gallery Chevy GMC on Lafayette Parkway in LaGrange, or shop online at autogallerychevygmc.com.
Do you enjoy the feel of that Southern soul music? Or how about just going out, having some of the best drinks and great Southern cooking in South Alabama? Peaches Sports Bar and Lounge, 12 Cottonton Road in Pittsville is where you want to be. Check out local performing artists like King South, J Live the Gentleman, Lady Coco, Remedy, and more. There's always something going on at Peaches Sports Bar and Lounge every Friday and Saturday night. Follow us on Facebook at Pittsview Peaches and on Instagram at Peaches SBL. Come on out and show out at Peaches Sports Bar and Lounge.
Lori's Furniture Express, your express way to save.
It's February and it's the month of love. And what could be better than a brand new sofa, a new recliner, or a new power love seat, all from Gorey's Furniture? And Gorey's Furniture would love to make it even better with free delivery on any purchase. And that's for the entire month of February. And it's only at Gorey's Furniture, Alabama Highway 169 in Opelika.
People talk about racism, but they don't talk about economic warfare.
Because they don't understand it.
Yeah.
They don't understand that someone is deliberately keeping you from organizing your economics. It comes in how you deal with housing. It comes in.
I think there's access to loans, man, specifically for business.
That's the critical one.
That's the killer.
The
man.
banking. That's the whole thing what they call redlining, right? Where it says people that live in this place, don't give them loans. That's all redlining was. When people hear redlining, they don't know what to talk about. The government makes maps, right? That bankers look at and says, okay, people who live in this zone, the green zone, we can get them loan. People in the blue zone, we can give them certain kind of loan. But the people in the red zone, we don't give them no loan. And that's almost always us. And if you can't get loans to open your business, if you can't get loans to buy the vehicles to attend your business, if you can't get loans to resupply yourself or to expand your business, then you're not going to thrive. That's again, how do I provide food, clothing, shelter, safety, and security? So they force you to be what? A consumer and a labor workforce for their enterprises instead of you being creators of your own enterprise. And you can't create your own enterprise if you don't have access to capital. And you can't have access to capital unless you have access to loans. And you can't give access to loans according to their standard unless you qualify in this credit rating. But you can't get the credit rating because nobody give you the access to the loan, right? So, and then the craziest thing, the way they run the credit rating in America, say if I got terrible credits, right? Because I refuse to work in the system. I will not work in the system. My credit is rock bottom, has been there for 40 years because I will not let you use that chain around my neck. I will find another way. But if you can't get access to the loans, Then they tell you, okay, we'll give you a credit card, but we're going to charge you a higher interest. You're the one who can't pay now,
Already,
but I'm going to charge you the higher
interest.
interest than somebody who can pay. That is stupid, but that is a debilitating way of keeping you out of the marketplace, keeping you from getting back. So what Dr. Anderson said, let's find our own ways to aggregate. Aggregate simply means to bring our monies together. That's where credit unions come in the Black community. And credit unions could then evolve through amalgamation, again, coming together to become banks. And then the banks, of course, can service that community's interests around the acquisition of land, their ability to pay for the labor they need, and so forth. Land, labor, and to get the resources you need to facilitate the people in the land and the labor force that you're working with. So we need to study, but not so much study. We need, because the average person knows exactly what they need. It's just that they can't get it. They know they need the labor. They know they need the opportunities for loans, but how can you get the loan, right? How do you get that opportunity? And if somebody deliberately realizing that if I let this population of 40 to 50 million, 60 million Black people develop economically, where I can then build relationship to Jamaica and to Trinidad and to Haiti, like they're building to Czechoslovakia, Italy, and Switzerland, they would be in trouble. So it's up to us to recreate ourselves economically. And a lot of people are trying to do it. Let's not put our people down. We spent last year better than $2 trillion because we made better than $2 trillion. There's only 11 nations in the world that had more surplus money than that. Okay. Our problem is ours is not organized. And that's what Dr. Anderson is talking about, aggregating, organizing your money. And it isn't because we're not organizing. Our problem is we are over-organized. There's too many Black organizations. We can get rid of 50% of them. Huh?
No, it's too much. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. If we could resolve 50% of them, bring them together. Take the Soros, the Soros and fraternities in the colleges. They're all operating as little individual groups. But that my little pink and my little red and my little blue and da-da-da-da, and I got a little program going in Africa where I'm digging wells, and I'm over here building a clinic in Africa, and I got a community service to get young kids to school. What if all those Soros came together and expand all those programs? You'd have an explosion.
And the successful collaborations you've had in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
I take it both parties had to quell their ego to focus on the mission.
Well, that's absolutely true in any kind of cultural developmental process, because that's what culture is. Culture is primarily the people's education system. The key in culture is unity. How do we work together in harmony? Unity and harmony. And that is when you establish, what do we have? What is our content? I mean, what are the things we have that is useful for our development? And then you have to come together and determine, what is our intent? What do we intend for the content, you know? And then you need a guiding tool. That's the thing we call culture. Some call it spirituality. Some call it indigenous religion. Whatever you call it, you've got to understand what its intent is. Is this intent to make sure you can provide food, clothing, shelter, safety, and security for yourself and your family? And can you then bind that collectively with others so you can establish control over land, labor, and resources where you live? So then you can get control of economic, politics, and culture where you live. Those elements, I think it's about 9 or 10 of them. If you can get those elements of economic, politics, and culture, land, labor, and resources, food, clothing, shelter, and safety. Okay? If you could pull those pieces together in some kind of ideological, but the first thing people do is like run to white socialism. It doesn't work for them. Show me a white socialist state where it's working. All right? let's go back to our own way.
Why are you not investing in tax liens? No, seriously.
Into Africa. Everybody identify themselves with their people except us. You watch a TV show and you see everybody's in kind of like expressing their cultural thing. We express in white culture in some form or another. You know? No. How do we unite ourselves around the guaranteeing of food, clothing, shelter, safety, and security for ourselves and our family? Getting control of land, labor, and resources, controlling economic, politics, and culture where we are. Malcolm described this as Black nationalism. You don't have to use a label for it. Just do it. Find out how to best do it. And it has to start with, you can't say you can do your own thing and then have unity. You can't do that. That don't work. I can let you do your thing and you do your thing. That's disunity. And we're the only community that really talk about that. Let everybody do their own thing. So you got the Muslim in that corner, the Baptist in this corner, the Jehovah's Witness in this corner, and Seventh-day Adventists in this corner, and Africa ain't nowhere in the house, and you're talking about you Black. Yeah. But, like, really, how can you say you respect Africa, but there's nothing in your life African guiding you? At your core, the history of Africa and African peoples, wherever they've gone in the world, should be what's guiding you. That determines who your friends are and who your enemies are. History will tell you the story. It'll erase the mystery. You won't be confused about who I should ally myself with. And those people in the world you see dominating the world today is because they're not confused about who their friends are and who their enemies are. We can't even establish our fundamental identity. Oh, well, I got a little Irish blood, or I got a little British blood, or I got a little French blood. Okay, let me get the knife. Show me where the French one is and where the Black one is, and we'll separate them out for you. And then you can make some choices, But
a small sliver of humanity is currently imposing their visions on the rest of us. They invest in space travel and AI superintelligence and underground bunkers, while casting healthcare and housing for all as outlandish and unimaginable. We are in many ways trapped inside the lopsided imagination of those who monopolize power and resources to benefit the few at the expense of the many. Rather than agonizing about a coming dystopia or longing for a future utopia, we have to reckon with ustopia. Ustopias are what we create together when we're wide awake. Ustopias invite us into a collective imagination in which we still have tensions, but where everyone has what they need to thrive. The first step is to stop policing the borders of our own imagination. Work that doesn't drive us into the grave, impossible. A society where everyone has food, shelter, love, in your dreams. A small sliver of humanity is currently imposing their visions on the rest of us. They invest in
Welcome back to Visions Now. Got a call on the line. Let's go to our lines and see what our caller has to say today. Yes, caller. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are we doing, Dr. Hood?
Yes, caller. Speak up just a little bit louder for us. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, what is your vision today? We're talking about a lot of different things. We're talking a little bit about the dynamics between males and females and how we can become better mothers and fathers. We're also talking about the world in general, how we're getting detached and misdirected with AI, and we're talking about, of course, our Saturday first town hall meeting for Black Heritage Month, where we're going to be hosting an opportunity for parents and neighbors and uncles and aunties and concerned citizens and others to come out and give their unbiased and unfiltered desires for what is best for our children other than incarceration. So what would you like to talk about today?
Well, I was calling in, as being a former probation correction officer, and just wanted to kind of comment on our youth and society and just different ways we can, contribute as a community to, participate back in our youth or put back into our youth. Again, for being a correction officer, I just had, a question on how we can potentially, how can we rebrand our children? So rebranding just off of the stereotypical name they'll cut coming out of the facilities, and just simply just how can we restructure? How can we rebrand our children?
Okay.
From repeating of incarceration.
Let me ask you this question, because this is something that I kind of know, but I don't really know per se from the inside. But that is when a child, approximately, just a guesstimation, approximately how many children at any given time, teens or preteens are on probation in Muscogee County?
Ooh, I know per caseload, you're looking at about 30 individual per caseload, and it's usually about 10 to 15 probation officers with that caseload.
So we're talking about probably about 500 or 600 young people on probation at any given time.
In the Muscogee County area,
Right,
yes,
in
sir.
the Muscogee County area, 500 or 600. Okay, now, now those are the ones that got caught, right?
Correct.
Those not the other the whole frame. So we could almost say that there probably would be several thousand young people who are at risk or could very well be on probation. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say.
Okay, now, what does it mean to be on probation? What is it that happens when, say my child gets on probation? What is done through probation to help my child be better? What actually, other than just reporting in and meeting with a probation officer, or probation coming to check on them, but what actually is done to help that child revise or reform their thinking so that they won't end up further into the system of incarceration?
That's a very good question. So the main purpose is trying to prevent the reoccurrence of any future illegal activity. But the things that were contributed to, preventing the youth from reoccurring, we did several counselings. We had several community events for them to attend to get their community service hours. Of course, like you mentioned, they did have to report, or we would have to go see them in the community, just making sure they were upholding the things that they agreed to upon court, upon leaving and getting out in the community. So going back towards the probation part, the main thing for the probation, yes, we do have counseling and community service programs, but the main priority was to make sure that no reoccurring offenses were recurring.
Okay, but it seems to me that was the way the system is set up, that really there's no real intervention, because if you got 30 children on your caseload, then there's no real intervention outside of like you talking to them or you checking on them or they checking in. So there's no real intervention that really can impact them in a way to really transform them into another version of themselves, from what I hear you saying.
I will say there was a program where there was an outside source that came in as a community source so to communicate with the individuals. But I will also say that we were fairly unactivity. We didn't have as many programs as we could have. Yes, those programs may have reached certain kids, but as we know, every individual is not the same. We all have different personalities, different outlooks, and you had some of the kids that was just going to it just for that purpose, and then they was back doing the same business. I feel that if we find programs that are suitable for the kids, or different versatile activities, or some trades, things for them to learn to create a structure of their own, to build on and carry on the legacy, a legacy of their own, and pass their legacy or their skills to their youth ones, or nieces, nephews, or family members. I think that would be, a great step in the right direction, and keeping them productive, not only while they're on probation, but keeping them productive when they get off of probation, to continue being productive, continue being, or creating a stable structure, and becoming their individual person.
Right. Now, my understanding is that for youth to actually go to the youth detention centers, that for every 10 children that get out of the youth detention center, 8 will return. So 8 out of 10 children, 80% of the children that get out return to the youth detention centers. Now, so what is the recidivism rate for children on probation? What percentage of them reoffend, generally speaking?
I don't have the exact numbers there, but I will say there is a high reoccurrence.
And so what we hope to be able to do, and I hope that you'll be able to come out and join us on Saturday from 12 to 2 at Revelation Baptist Church, and be able to kind of talk with us a little bit, because we want to reform. See, many times state institutions, they are doing basically working with what they have and what they know. But we as a community, at the end of the day, change has to come from the home, from the neighborhoods, from the communities. And so I think this is the first time on a massive level that someone is taking on this type of effort. And another thing about it, I think that we're going to look real close at the funds of, and I'd like to find out if someone out there knows how much money has been spent through the Crime Prevention Committee since 2009, when it was first set up. How much money, how many millions of dollars have actually been spent? And what do you see? And this is not necessarily a question for you, Carla, but I'm saying for anyone listening, what has been the results of all those millions of dollars? All those millions of dollars. Unless you have an opinion about that.
I don't. I can't address that one. All I can say is, for the amount of millions of dollars, I think we could have been making some better steps in the right direction. I think a lot of stuff is like you mentioned, is generalized of a whole base versus the community base. I think, like you mentioned, the community does need to come out and, like you said, show support, give their opinion, so we know how to base the things to help our kids based off of the community and not as a mass.
Right. And hopefully, again, we don't want politics to dominate, because thus far we've had crickets, unfortunately, from our politicians. Only time they talk about something is they're spending money for baseball, for hockey, or they're talking about all the murderers. And that's also I'm saying, with the news media, seems like solutions to problems. They don't seem to have much stomach to talk a lot about solutions, but we always see every night how many people have been killed, been kidnapped, who ran away from the police, who ran away from the whatever, the law enforcement, the sheriff or whatever. We get all of that, but we don't get the proactive, hey, look, these are efforts being done here for your children to be able to help make a difference. And that's what we hope to offer. And we hope that everyone will come out and be a part of that. Is there anything that you would think that you would like to hear from the panelists or from the citizens, as you alluded to earlier? What do you think is the most important element that needs to be addressed by a community movement to save our children, to stop violence? Because it's a shame when we hear people talking about all these guns that young people are having. And I'm trying to say, first of all, where they get the money to get guns. And then secondly, I'm saying that where are the guns coming from to be sold to children? That's one question.
That's a good question.
That's a question I want to ask this Saturday.
Yes, sir.
So
I think we right in there together. I think you know, we got to look into it but before the individuals being incarcerated or youth being incarcerated. Like what was like you mentioned, where are they getting the money from? Where are these habits coming from? So I think our biggest thing, or the biggest thing I would like to be heard addressed, is as your previous message had stated, the unified versus the ununified. What ways, you know, how can we get the community together to become back to, you know, how it used to be, a village, a sister or brotherhood versus the individuality and everyone's for themselves. It needs to be addressed back in the community before individuals being incarcerated. So the biggest thing I want to know, how can we bring the community back together as a village to hold, you know, our neighbors responsible, you know, to just hold the community accountable.
And as you're talking, something comes to my mind, and that is, why is it that parents don't seem to care about their young boys in particular? I mean, care enough to get out and involve. You know, I hear people all the time, in the time that people come out and say, let's march through the neighborhood and tell them don't do this. That's fine, but what about marching on City Hall and telling City Hall you putting $70,000 plus an automobile in the hands of police, but what are the resources you putting chicken scratch for resources to keep children out of trouble? But it's almost like they're getting ready to build a new justice center or courthouses. It's saying that to me, it's like this. It's like you're expecting a hurricane, so therefore you build your house to resist hurricane. If you build a new justice center downtown instead of the government center, what is it that makes them? Well, I guess apparently they know that there are going to be more and more young people because there's nothing being invested. The park and recreation department seem to be a joke, but the parents are not complaining about that. If they are complaining, their representatives are not bringing it up. When I look at the television, I don't hear them talking about our young people. I just hear them talking about it on the side of what they need to do to lock up. They just got $5 million additional dollars to buy more military equipment to destroy and kill our young people, but no money to keep them from getting out of trouble. So I'm just kind of wondering. And by the way, let me ask you this: as a citizen, I'm an optimist anyway, but should we be optimistic about whether or not parents are really going to step up and be involved? Because once somebody die, I see families get out and they let the balloons fly and they gather them up and they cover that. But I'm trying to say, what about, they knew that there was some risky stuff going on. How can we get those families and all those families that have been touched already by violence? How can we get them to come out, do you think?
I think that's just back into what we were speaking about, the community involvement. We need, first of all, we need to, like you mentioned, as we were speaking about, holding parents accountable and holding the community representative responsible. Holding the parents responsible, just a sense off of, you know, having a structure for the kid, having the right ways of yes and no. And yes, I do know, you know, if we're going into single things, that everything can't be accomplished by one. But then that goes back to our community representatives. If we're asking the questions or why things are getting funded for this and this, but not certain things, that goes back to the community. Our community has to go to these meetings and you know, force laws they want to see or force changes they want to see. And that's where it starts. It starts within the community, to start changes within the community. So I think, again, it just goes back to holding the community, the parents responsible for taking actions for the kids or you know, of that position, and taking actions for our community and the youth by voting, by standing up, using their voice.
Mm-hmm. You know, first of all, let me just say this: my hat is off to those pastors that have opened up the doors of their church for us to come and to invite in their members and their neighborhoods where they're surrounded by, for example, Revelations. And again, I'd like to thank the FOI, the Fruit of Islam, for as we speak. They are out there knocking on doors around Revelations in that area, letting them know what's going on. But I guess what I'm saying is that we have a lot of churches in Columbus, Georgia. Do you think that if the pastors made these types of efforts that we're doing more of a priority, that then more congregations would come to these and to get involved with solutions to these problems? Do you think that the faith community, and I thank Reverend Flakes for his leadership, we've been waiting a long time, but there's been a lot of talk about it, but he has stepped up and stepped out to say, look, it's time for us to do this. And as he said, that when that he likes to say a lot is that he believes in prayer, but he also believes in that after get through praying to get up and do something. And that's where I feel as well. But what part, how can we challenge these churches to at least, my point is they have a captive audience. So if they just get their congregations in these areas to come to these hearings, I think that we will be a long ways to making a difference. So what can we say, or what do you think we need to do to get the pastors? Do you think we need to find out who all the churches are in those areas and knock on their doors and invite them out personally, or do you think that we should that they should be a part of the denominational ministerial alliance and already actually be a part of what's going on now?
A good question, but I think that would definitely be a good place to reach out a lot of the community. What I do feel personally is, I think it'll be for the churches to reach out to their broadbands of the community. Me personally, I feel that it goes back to accountability. Okay. If you in the church, we are out preaching to the community about positive, about doing good, about serving, about serving God, about doing the right thing. So if we get to the churches, get to the pastors, and it's spoken upon to where they can reach out to the community and have, their church who believes in that pastor that's up there preaching to them, getting that community activist to represent and to have that following of the community to come and show up in numbers. I think that'd be spoken in big volumes.
Exactly, and I think that would be a message to the young people that grown adults do love them, do care about them as well. Because where it is now, it seems as if, it's like if we get around to it, then we'll be concerned. But but again, I just think that what you're saying is 100 on, and I pray that anyone out there listening, go to your pastor and let them know to come out, because this Saturday will be Revelations. We'd like to thank Greater Peace Baptist Church. We'd like to thank Rose Hill Baptist Church. We'd like to thank Macedonian Christian Ministries for opening up their doors. But we're saying that we want other churches to open up their doors, invite us into their church bodies as well, and to talk with their congregation. And also, I'm sure that these churches have people in their churches who've had tragedies. See, this is what I'm trying to say. That in these church families, all these people get, if every church that's been touched by violence, if they would have people to come to these and let us know what they need so that we would be able to intervene and stop other families from going through what they went through, that would be a big help.
I agree with you more. So
again, caller, we'd like to thank you very much for calling in, and we pray that you will be able to come out and share your thoughts and on Saturday from 12 to 2 at Revelation Baptist Church under leadership of Reverend Valerie Thompson. And I'd like to thank you for calling in today, and may God bless, and then keep up the good work. And we're going to translate this water into wine, or this talk into action.
There we go.
All right. Peace.
I appreciate you, Dr. Hood, for having me.
Peace be unto you.
Likewise, sir. Thank you.
Okay, right now we're going to try to pay a few bills. Listen to Visions Now, your supper club, right here, 92.1 Smooth R&B. The mystic moment is ahead.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-708-3092. 800-708-3092. That's 800-708-3092.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome, and each person's recovery depends on the facts and laws of each client's case.
You ever see an attack dog? You ever see an attack dog in action? You ever see the owner of attack dog say attack? Sick 'em, boys, sick 'em. That's Top Dog. Get into an accident, that's what you're doing. Sick 'em, boys, sick 'em. Go get 'em. Biting these insurance companies, shaking them like a rag doll. Telling them I want everything. My client deserves it. I want everything. Telling them what they offering ain't enough. Add 300 more thousand on that, and we can make a deal. If not, I'll see your ass in court. That's my dog. That's Top Dog. That's Top Dollar. That's what you want if you get into an accident. Follow him on Instagram at Top Dog Law. It's TopDogLaws.com.
Hey, yo, get ready, Columbus. It's only one place to be throughout the week, and that's the all-new Crew Fountain City. Open 7 days a week. Mondays, we got free hookah with DJ the Brad. Taco Tuesdays, giving you $3 tacos and $3 tequila all night with DJ Breezy Baby. Wednesdays, a dope game night with DJ Lex. Thursdays, Columbus return, a true R&B Thursdays with DJ Sun Valley. Then we got Top Tier Fridays with DJ B-Love and DJ Cashflow. That brings us to Sold Out Saturdays with DJ B-Love and DJ Sun Valley. Sundays, we got the brunch with DJ Khan, and Sunday night, we got DJ Cashflow and Sun Valley again. It's turning the club all the way up. 7 days a week, it's something for you each and every night at the all-new Crew Fountain City with 98.3 The Beat.
Need your taxes done right? Go to Cassie's Bookkeeping and Tax. Cassie has over 25 years experience as a tax professional. And if you're in a hurry or don't want to wait, drop off your tax papers and Cassie will prepare them and give you a call when they are ready. All forms, all states. Cassie will handle your refund check or have a direct deposit into your checking account. Open weekdays 9 till 6, Saturdays 9 to 1. For appointments after regular hours or information, call 706-685-9040. Cassie's Bookkeeping and Tax, 3360 Suite 6, Buena Vista Road, Columbus.
If I knew you were Detroit on my page when you do this. Oh, you. Welcome back to Visions Now, your supper club, and of course, as always, we appreciate the time that you give us, that you become a part of what is going on and making a difference. I mean, that's really what it's all about. We know we're here to make a difference, and we can't make a difference without you. I mean, you are the difference makers, and that's what we're trying to do. Now, this is our mystic moment today. Since I am a devotee of the sun, I speak of sunshine only. I am not of the dark night, nor a night worshiper. I shall not interpret your dreams. I am a messenger from the sun. I am his interpreter only. And this is how I do it. Secretly, I ask the sun. Then I answer your question. That's your mystic moment. So we hope that you have enjoyed, of course, our thoughts tonight. And one of the things that I really hope that we're going to be able to do is to make sure that we do have people to come out and to make a difference. That might have been there, to make a difference. Yeah, I think that's it. And so again, don't forget this Saturday from 12 to 2. Get you in at 12, gonna get you out at 2. But again, we gotta take care of God's business. And God has given us children to take care of them, to raise them, to train them up so that when they get old, they will not depart from it. So,
you know, I definitely do it for the people. I do it for the culture.
And this is our inspiration.
You know, in organizing
New Era Detroit.
Our people, you have to have a. You know, I definitely do it for the people. I do it for the culture. But, you know, in organizing our people, you have to have a certain level of patience, and you have to have an understanding of the trauma as well that we've been through. And some of the reasons we haven't got to organizational position to where we make organization a lifestyle. So essentially that's what we are as an organization, and what we bring to communities is organization and making it a lifestyle. So when we talk about our, you know, doing stuff for the community, it's become kind of cliche, right? So, you know, people want to throw events, and, you know, we become real eventful as people. And we do events and we say, okay, well, we doing something for the community, we giving back. And, you know, sometimes I don't even like to utilize the word giving back because, you know, it doesn't have standing power. And what I mean by that is, you know, what is the outcome, the effective long-term outcome of a lot of the give backs and things of that nature if we're not gonna go back. Even when we talk about the concept in which we created for our foundation, the Mud Roots concept, that came off of understanding, you know, our identity, understanding that, okay, we're not really activists, we're not really grassroots organizers. This has to be something different because what we're doing hasn't been done before on a consistent basis. So when we talk about organizing, I mean from January to December, we working and making sure that we have a certain level of programming in our community, you know, that it's going to directly affect and impact, you know, the hoods and the ghettos of America. We utilize the word community extremely loosely, right? So it's community, but like, let's be honest, if we not doing it for the streets and you know, when I talk community, it's always hoods and ghettos of America, because that's truly the pocket that we have to focus on. So when we came up with the concept Mud Roots, it was strictly that. It's like understanding, okay, this is deeper than grassroots. What have grassroots done for Black communities over the past 5 decades? And you start to look and you realize not much, you know, because it's always surface stuff. And it seems like people that's doing grassroots work never can really get down to the meat and potatoes in the community, either don't know how to connect to the streets, or, you know, don't have it in them to connect to the streets. So for us, man, it's just making sure that we put something in place for the streets, organization and structure. There are hundreds of thousands of Black organizations across the country. Just when we came around, we really wanted to truly define what organization looks like in Black communities. So, you know, once again, what does it look like to organize on a day in and a day out basis and make it a lifestyle?
Well, supper time is over for today. We're going to close up the village. Thank you for listening. Invite your friends to join in our weekly meal, supper time. Let's build that spirit of Harambe. Organize, organize, organize. Educate, educate, educate. Pamoja, tutashinda, uhuru sasa, watu wazuri. Peace, soul, love, with a little sprinkle of power. Good night.